getting on here, doing a therapy session. I'm realizing how, first of all, I'm jumping into therapy and not even telling y'all who I am. Hey guys, I'm Ashley Jade. So, for those of you who may not know, I am a minister, and I got my license in April 2021. It is January 8th, 2022. I've done 3 sermons so far, and oh, y'all thought y'all was getting therapy? I put in my dues. It's my turn. Okay, back to the video. Hey girl, you done eating already? Ain't got no more. Ain't. Been thinking lately, and especially today, I don't want to let God down. I don't want to let people down. So many people have been hurt by the church and people and disappointed. And I know one of the biggest things that some of the biggest qualms, I think the biggest qualms that people have with the church as an institution is like the hypocrisy. You know, teaching and preaching one thing but living a different life outside of what is preached. And you know, I always talk about, like on my social media platforms, vulnerability being my ministry, and I recognize why God has me be so vulnerable all the time and exposing all my shortcomings. And you know, every time I think that I'm gonna get a chance to dig into and lay into the church for all of its shortcomings, because I'm one of those that has church hurt too, God is like, nah, we're gonna talk about yours instead. I'm a licensed social worker, and so one of our ethical principles and values is do no harm. That's a big one. You know, do no harm. At the end of the day, no matter what you do, realistically speaking, we're all human. We all make mistakes. We all have our own biases, and it's important to be aware of those. But even knowing that in everything that we do, every situation we approach, it's important to still do no harm. And the pressure that I create within myself of like, do no harm. And I realize more now than ever the importance of like really living a life that's pleasing to God and really making a difference of clean and unclean and holy and unholy. When I was in ministry before, what that looked like was totally different than what it looks like now for me. Living uprightly before God in that period of my life, man, what it looked like was wearing skirts while serving a ministry, not listening to any secular music, very strict dating and courting rules, and not even really just dating or casual dating, just courting, period. And courting just means dating with intent to marry one person, period. There are more things that we need to focus on and that matter more than the type of music that we're listening to. Like how we talk to one another and how we talk to ourselves. The judgment of one another and the judgment of ourselves, anger, being so critical, and being able to so easily see what's wrong with everybody else. Also being able to so easily give and pour out love to everybody else but yourself. The lack of boundaries in terms of not having a healthy balance with church and family. I don't want to be the type of leader that people have to heal from. I don't want to be the type of leader that turns people away from God. I don't want to be the type of leader that that is one way in church and another outside of church. And not talking about just sinful nature, but my attitude and my mindset, my behaviors, and having this mindset that I have to have it all together in front of people, and being so prideful that I can't allow myself to break down in front of the people that I'm leading. If we only talk about what God brought us out of 10, 15, 20 years ago, how do we help people who need a word for right now? Like I need to tell you about what I'm going through right now, so you can be encouraged about what you're going through right now. God didn't just deliver me 10 years ago. He's delivering me now. We say he's the same God today as he was back then. How can I attest to that if I'm not telling you something I know, because he's doing it right now? I think a lot of times leaders, they get caught up on their image. And so they only testify about what God did for them or what God did for other people they know. No, what is God doing for you now? And I'm not talking about just the financial blessing. What is God doing for your mental state? What is God doing for your hypocrisy and your judgment and your resentment? People want to hear that. Sure, so we've shifted from the you messages to the we messages. How about the me messages? What comes from the heart reaches the heart, and it's time for us to be vulnerable. I keep reminding myself, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our not our dark. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, talented, gorgeous, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. As we are liberated from our own fear, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. People don't want to hear about cars and houses and it's your season. They need to hear about how you getting through your pain. I know, even though I say I'm scared of disappointing God and letting God down and people down, deep down, I'm scared of that scripture that says that God is going to do exceedingly abundantly above all that I could ask or think. Because, man, then what? I thank y'all for listening. Drop a comment if you can relate. Don't be telling my business to nobody. I know it's on YouTube, but don't tell nobody else, all right?